No better place to start the all-new season of E-Road Australian Rally Championship than right here in southeast Queensland. Gympie is where we're based this weekend. We're framed by the Sunshine Coast to the east, the Glasshouse Mountains and hinterlands down further to the south for the Accent Rally Queensland. Chris Stubbs with you. This is the Shakedown, the first time that we've seen a shakedown in the E-Road Australian Rally Championship. So 3 kilometres, Derriere is the stage name, and we are ready to go to set the tone for the new season ahead. Chris Stubbs with you, as I said. Greg Rust, welcome to you. Great to have you alongside me. Gee, the air of anticipation is thick for the new season.
I am so excited about this. We've kind of been waiting, Stubbsy, with lots of other categories kind of kick-starting their championship. This is where it begins in earnest. Now, the fight for one of the biggest trophies in the Motorsport Australia cabinet, a very special one for the E-Road Australian Rally Championship. And as Chris said at the top there, something new. Shakedown. This is a taste of what you get in the World Rally Championship, right? A practice run, if you will, couple of practice runs here for our competitors, and something of a form guide.
That's exactly right. So our first runner was supposed to be Scott Petter, but he's actually had a problem earlier today, Rusty. So instead, it's Lewis Bates.
Now, we're going to get an update here for Lewis too. He's had a moment. Jackie Shivey is with us. They have had some sort of gremlin with this car, a question mark about whether he would run today, but he's had a run. Let's see how that's gone for Lewis Bates and Anthony McLaughlin.
Hey Lewis, it's been a busy morning for you just to get to the start line. You've had some car issues. Can you talk us through what was happening?
We're still having them, so we need to get the car back to the service and see if we can get it fixed. But yeah, we've had a good feeling in between the issues, but yeah, it's a little bit frustrating because we just can't seem to find it, so we'll go back and check it now.
So no second run?
We'll see how we go. If we can get it fixed, we'll come back for a second run.
Well, hopefully you do.
Thanks to Jackie there. The run was a 2-minute 4.1, I think, Chris. So here's a little look at the calendar, and we have literally a wonderful opportunity to crisscross the country. There are some events that are part of the fabric of this sport, real traditional events. Something new on the calendar. We're headed to the south coast of New South Wales, and I can tell you from when I was a lot younger and a lot less grey hairs, there are some awesome roads down there. Keep in mind we're in sprint mode this weekend, but 2 key endurance events on the calendar to think about as well, in Tasmania and at the end at Gippsland.
Well, you just touched on it, sprint format this weekend. So we've got the heat today, 190 kilometres in total across the 2 days. But today, for the first time, we're going to see on a Saturday a power stage. So extra championship points up for line for the first time on a Saturday in championship history.
7 stages, 84 Ks to complete the event on Sunday. Points available both days. Here's a snapshot of what you can expect today for this shakedown. So it has a little bit of everything. Talking to some of the co-drivers as we see Harry Bates on stage here now, triple Australian Rally champion. It tests them in all sorts of ways. An open sort of forest road at the very end of it. You emerge from within the forest, tight, tricky, technical. Getting a flow on this is not easy, and it is a sample in many respects of what we'll see across the weekend. Dust already is something that competitors are talking about. As Harry and Coral Taylor arrive here, let's take you to Jackie and get an update on how that's gone for him. First run.
Harry, it's the start of a brand new season. How are you feeling out there, and how are you feeling in the car?
Yeah, very excited to be at the start of 2026. It's felt like a long time since Rally Tassie last year, and really excited to be here at the Shakedown and ready to get going. So it's going to be, I think, a long, tough weekend this weekend. It's going to be hot and dry, so dust could be a factor. But yeah, really excited to be here and feeling good.
So the Shakedown is new. Is this part of your strategy? Are you going hard? Are you holding back? What are you trying to achieve here?
Not going too hard. We've got a rally tomorrow that we need to think about, but it's a really cool addition, of course. You know, it's always nice to just be in the car before the event and getting in the groove. So that's what we're taking this morning to do, and yeah, excited.
We'll see you soon.
So not going too hard, says Harry, but 3/10 quicker than his brother Lewis on that first time past. So that's the good news. But this is exactly what a shakedown is about. We saw Lewis there with the problems that he's had, a misfire, an electrical problem. Better today than tomorrow.
Totally. How is the livery on those cars? And he's in a great space at the moment, Harry. Let's not forget that he did it a couple of years ago at the World Rally Championship event in New Zealand. He got to show his talent against some of the world's best. He's going to get the opportunity to do that again real soon too. We're excited for him.
Wasn't it? Off to Portugal. So we'll chat about that across the weekend and what that means to Harry. We very quickly mentioned Scott Petter. So a problem for him. He's our number one seed and should have been the first car through. Rusty, what's the story?
He'll join us at the end of the broadcast here today, live on our ARC YouTube channel, for the ballot draw. We'll get a chance to actually have a word with him about it. But we understand that it's a power steering issue of some kind. The rack needed to be changed. We're about, as you talked at the top of the coverage today, about a 40-minute drive south of our Galvanised Insurance Rally Central in Gympie. So the car, I think, is with Maximum Motorsport, with the Petters crew, headed back there to get that change. So it's a shame that we don't get to see him shaking that car down, giving it a run here today. That won't worry Scott Petter in the slightest. He'd rather have that ironed out now than tomorrow.
A man of so much experience, no doubt about that. And likewise for Lewis, I guess, and the issues that he's had there with that electrical problem. So they'll be working hard to get back out for the second.
Can we talk, though, about the fact that is now a two-car operation, right? So for Dean Herridge, they have something like 30 stars. Yes, the Petters operation is now a two-car effort. We did see a little glimpse of that last year with Tom Christensen coming and running a car at one stage. But there is a bright young star in the sport that we should see very shortly. Jackson Long has been given this opportunity, having stepped out of Subaru competition. He's run this car along with Scott Petter. The team's already done some runs across the Nullarbor. They took it to Bathurst, to the iconic roads around Mount Panorama and Sunny Corner in the past month. Scott was terrific there, but Jackson finished a credible third in that first round in outright terms of the New South Wales Rally Championship, and he was only about a minute in the end off Scott Petter's pace. So when you think about that, he's in the oldest spec, if you will, R5 car. They'll be wanting to just manage his enthusiasm. This young competitor, he's got a huge amount of talent, spends a lot of time in the sim, and he's really applying himself, Chris, here in the Australian Rally Championship.
We talked about it a bit last year with Jackson too. Such an impressive young guy, only 18 years of age last year, having his first crack at our championship proper and taking out the Junior Cup. It was such an impressive season across all aspects. A
family with a rich history in rallying in this country, so it's just terrific that the Long family are here. They're thrilled for this opportunity for him. The thing now will be managing expectation, I guess, Chris, and that'll be something he'll do within himself, I think, in many respects as well. And just what unfolds here, we obviously have a bit of a gap here, and we've got our officials just checking that for us. So hopefully everything is okay with that second entry. But the main thing is just a clean couple of runs here today. Be confident, comfortable, and launch into tomorrow off the back of what he did. I think it's back in New South Wales in the past month or so. That's a really encouraging start to his season. There you go. That's a little description of what we were talking about before. So you can see you're deep in the pines, the forest here. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And then you emerge, and it's quite wide and open and fast. We're not far from Imbil. I can recall coming here and seeing the factory Subaru teams and Mitsubishi teams, Ed Ordinsky and many others. This is, to quote you, we're very much in Queensland heartland rally area here at the moment.
And of course this rally last year was in July, so incredibly different conditions. The first time that this has kick-started our season, and the dust was... We had a quick chat with some of the drivers and co-drivers just before we came on air here, and the dust really was a talking point because it's also still... And it's warm, 31 degrees today. There was a little bit of fog in Gympie in town on our way out here. 33 expected tomorrow. How's that to start the season?
So different to last year, as you said. So what does that do in terms of, as we see him emerge into view now in the Skoda Fabia, what impact will that have? MRF control tyres, we have both medium and soft as options. Most people talking about soft being the preference, but in these warmer conditions, knowing what the roads are like and so on, does that mean a change of... a change of approach, a change of thought about that? We can't give you times just at the moment. We have a little timing issue that we are working through. Just on the event too, Chris, lots of hard work has gone into this event, stepping it up again in 2026. They are two-time E-Road Australian Rally Championship events of the year here at the Accent Benchtop Rally Queensland. Really excited for this combination. Let's take you to Jackie.
Jackson Long, you're in a new car this year. You have had a bit of practice in another rally, but how are you feeling in this car and how are you getting used to it?
Yeah, the car feels absolutely amazing, and to have this opportunity to drive something
so beautiful to drive. It's so pointy and does everything you want to do. So I'm just getting used to basically not turning in too hard because the car just goes left or goes right. So you have to definitely be careful, but it's a lot of fun to drive.
And how is the Shakedown helping you then? This is obviously so helpful.
Yeah, definitely. It gets you in a bit of a performance mindset, a bit competitive, but still sort of a testing idea. So it's good to be at a higher pace before the rally to get used to the car, and that felt really great.
Great, we'll see you soon.
With some additional backing from famous insurance brokers as well, that outfit really professional. And what about that young man, the way that he speaks he oozes passion. I use that quite often, that expression, my apologies. But he genuinely does for this is what he is all about, a future in rallying. Wonderful opportunity for him here. Now, that's a 2:09. That's not a time relative to what we've seen from Harry Bates, given the gap here. But he's got it in perspective, doesn't he?
It'd be fascinating to see on the second pass how much quicker some of these competitors go. For one of our young and up-and-coming drivers like Jackson, you suspect the second pass will be much quicker. A little bit of a look and see before he may put the foot down a little bit more. Troy Dow.
I mean, it's awesome stuff, this. And he is in the Easy Up 2020 Toyota GR Yaris AP4 car. Now, they have made this combo a change around their suspension choice and settings for 2026. And Troy said to me just a few moments ago, it has really given them a lot of confidence. It is helping with drive in the car, change of direction and so on. So they're feeling really good about this. So car on approach here. Let's see how the Shakedown run has gone. Bernie Webb beside him once again. Good story, this one. Jackie?
Troy, how is it out there, and how much of an issue is the dust going to be this weekend, do you think?
It's very loose and super dusty out there. Not a lot of wind, so it's hanging out in the air. So it's going to be a big challenge trying to see where you're going, but it is what it is. We'll see what happens over the weekend.
So for the second pass, are you going to try to be a little bit more competitive, or are you just trying to get used to the dust and get ready for the weekend?
Yeah, there's not much point pushing too hard in this. There's a lot of places where you can throw it away. So, we'll just get it to the finish and start the weekend good.
Sounds good. We'll see you soon.
Yeah. So good, and looking forward to seeing Troy taking part more regularly this season. His health battles have been well documented with leukemia, a bone marrow transplant, 25 years of age. So good to see him back.
You can tell he's got some spring in his step, but having spoken with him just up the road where the cars kind of regroup between the runs, and the car in question is a part of the umbrella, if you will, for Neil Bates Motorsport as well. So great combination, that, as we said before. Now, the next car that we should see, the time, I think, incidentally, too, might have been about a 2:16 there. I'll just clarify with our timing on the timing side of things. So, again, nothing to look at from an indicative standpoint, but Harry Bates, quick at the moment with a 2:03. That is the time to beat if you're just joining us for our live coverage here. This is Shakedown, something new for 2026 for the E-Road Australian Rally Championship. Josh Wiedemann should be the next car in the 2006 Mitsubishi Evo. So we step away from some of those newer generation cars, if you will, and enjoy some, it's, I guess you could say, classic in some respects, an iconic car in rallying terms.
Plenty of great spectator points here this weekend, and Josh Wiedemann, being a Queenslander from Logan Village, promising young talent, he will have plenty of supporters, no doubt, around these forests over the next couple of days of competition. So good to see him back. He won the first round of the Queensland Rally Championship in 2025, and one of this next generation of stars working his way through.
Absolutely. Got some great supporters for the championship this year, including our naming rights partner in E-Road back again this year as well. And for the event, Accent Benchtops that you mentioned at the top there, 20 years of experience in the benchtop industry, Chris, for both domestic and commercial markets from Queensland all the way down to Port Macquarie, Noosa Heads and more. They are very good in that space, and they've been wonderful partners with this round of the championship, proudly supporting it.
Rusty, let's set the scene a little bit. Off the top, you mentioned, of course, Hayden Paddon and the impact that he had on our championship last year. So for Harry this year, it's a big year, isn't it? He'll look to get that title back that he'd won the previous 2 seasons, he was under pressure last year. There were some uncharacteristic mistakes. I think he was the first person to put his hand up and admit to that. There was a lot going on last year.
First place in Rally Tasmania, but when you look at the rest of the year, he was kind of there or thereabouts. But the intensity of adding that Hyundai, adding Hayden Paddon and John Kennard to the mix, and let's be honest, he relished that challenge. He likes the thought of benchmarking himself and going head-to-head with a competitor of that calibre. Next car that is about to approach us, and we thought that was the Evo, didn't we? But in fact, just in a little change in the order there. So
Darren
the Croziers.
Yep.
So just to recap that time for Dal as well, it was a 2 minute 16.9.
So Darren and Michelle, the family affair, aiming to take part in all 6 events this year. Previously, a Gemini Coupe, Corolla, won the Victorian two-wheel drive championship in the past, second in the ARC F2 class in the past, and now they're in the Fiesta, which is great to see.
All right, they're on approach here at the end of the first run for Shakedown. Jackie is standing by. Let's jump in and have a word.
Darren, how is that? How are you feeling and how are the conditions out there?
Not too bad. The prep was a bit poor this morning, so got a little issue with the sump guard. Other than that, it's good. Pretty short stage. There's a lot going on. So anyway, happy to be here.
It's the first ever time we've had a shakedown. How helpful is it for you?
Yeah, well, we haven't driven the car for about 8 months, so technically driving it on and off the trail that doesn't count. So yeah, just happy to get a few Ks this morning and hook in tomorrow.
We're happy you're part of it. We'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Interesting to see there, just feeling pardon the pun, a little bit of rust there, having not run the car for a while within himself. If we get a gain there between runs 1 and 2, if you're with us for the coverage with Shakedown, we get 2 passes on this stereo stage here. 3 Ks in length, takes for the fast competitors about a minute and a half, but we are seeing times that have eked out a bit further. Next car in view should be Toby Price. He's been in the headlines of late, but he has been doing some rallying across the ditch in New Zealand in the past week as a part of the Otago Rally with the R2G team. He is back with Maximum Motorsport in the Subaru. New co-driver for this event in Ben Searcy. And I'm loving what year 2 might bring for Toby Price in this class.
Well, that's it. Last year we saw him in Wolf Production Cup in the Adelaide Hills Rally, and of course he had the rather significant moment venturing off into the paddock there. So back into the WRX Challenge this time around, and 5 cars in that category. It just continues to grow the interest in it. It's a great way to continue to develop your craft, and Toby is doing just that.
Maximum do a beautiful job with the preparation and build on those cars too, and 4 of the 5 machines are in the iconic WRX blue. This is one of them. He's arrived with a 2 minute 18.4. So let's jump in and see how things are tracking for Toby Price.
Toby, you've got 12 months of proper rallying under your belt now. How is that helping your confidence heading into this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely starting to make a little bit of sense. We're trying some different things and trying to make my own little bit of a package now. So, yeah, the first 12 months has been a good learning curve, and now we just want to try and apply it and get better this season. So it's, exciting. We're keen to go for the whole season and have some fun.
A new co-driver, how is that going for you guys so far?
Yeah, new co-driver. Benny's doing a great job so far. So, I think he's a brave man to jump in with me. But, all in all, it's working out really good. It's for me, his experience is helping me a lot, to progress and get forward and for myself. So, yeah, it's nice to have a bit of a change and just and try some different things. And like I say, still learning, but I want to try and apply it better this year and have some fun.
Sounds good. We'll see you soon.
Awesome. Cheers, guys.
You can tell how happy he is. In the day, when he was winning, Fink on multiple occasions on 2 wheels, a winner at Dakar, one of the world's most grueling events. He's made that switch to 4-wheel competition in relatively recent times. But one thing about Toby, he just loves holding whether it's a bike or in a car sense, holding it wide open, full throttle. And he has enjoyed this. He's absolutely enjoyed the challenge. This is a good combination here. So Jeff David was telling me before, we tend to think of Jeff behind the wheel of his Porsche 911. He has competed in rallying in the United States, but in terms of a bit of history for you, back in 1987, he ran the ex-Ed Mulligan Subaru RX Turbo. So he's reunited back in Subaru machinery again, and his co-driver, when they jumped out after a couple of runs before we got Shakedown underway, we just said to Grant Geelan, what's it like? He said, this is like cheating. And he didn't mean that in a bad way. He just meant it's just so easy, so comfortable. They are really enjoying it, this pair. It'd be interesting to see what they can do this weekend in WRX Challenge. Jackie?
Jeff, you're in a different set of wheels this weekend. How different is it? How are you enjoying it, not enjoying it? What are you having to adjust?
I think everyone that's driving a four-wheel drive car is cheating. Having come from a rear drive 1970 Porsche to a 2025 Subaru four-wheel drive, it's completely ridiculous.
So you're a little bit old school then?
Well, no, I love it, but we've got air conditioning, it's on, we're just cruising through the stages, there's so much grip, it's a very different experience. But we're having a ball. I'm
not going to lie, I'm sweating out here. I'm enjoying interviewing you more. How is the stage out there?
Fantastic, I'm glad.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you very much.
So at 2:27 there for Jeff, what a character he is. So great to have him competing this year. Also part of the East Coast Cup. Now, Rusty, that's another one of the new innovations,
facets,
if you like,
of
Innate Events Group have brought in since they've taken on the championship, and it's a great opportunity for drivers to be part of the ARC that maybe would have just been doing state rounds on the East Coast instead. Now they can find their own path.
You can kind of be a bit more frugal, can't you, in the way that you spend your money? There's not as many that you need to kind of think about, but we keep you in the national level of the competition, which is fantastic.
So next is Dale Lineker, 3 years of rallying. Gippsland Rally in 2025 was a great performance. Picked up 14 points there for Dale. Alongside him is Craig Thomas. So we see them roll to the finish line. Cole Taylor saying before that there was some rain a little while ago, and since we've had such dry, warm weather since, there can be some real ruts that have set hard into the surface along the way. So much for these guys to think about.
We were talking a few weeks ago about the impact of all that rain. What would it be like? And it's quite dry and dusty here at the moment. Let's take you to Jackie.
Hello, Dale. I'm going to ask you what's going on. How is it out there?
Alive, but it's pushing through the trees, and yeah, good times. Did all right.
So it's the first time we've done a shakedown. How helpful are you finding it?
Oh, massive to get in the car today and get a few laps in, and yeah, picked up a lot of speed and got used to going quick again, so yeah, been a good day.
How are you going to play the second run then? Are you going to push a bit harder or just...
way faster. Yeah, win it or put it in the trees. What could go wrong?
Well, we need you to make it to the start line tomorrow.
That's it. Nah, we'll be good.
Okay, we'll see you soon. Thanks.
Thanks, mate. Good on you.
Let's Michael Stratus in the socials department just clip that up and send it. That's absolutely perfect, isn't it? So what a summary. Awesome. And he gets to do it all again. That's the beauty of it, Chris. With Shakedown today, we get 2 passes. We're enjoying bringing it to you as well live here on our E-Road Australian Rally Championship channels. Reminder too, you can join us live on KO tomorrow and on Sunday as well.
Yeah, which is super exciting. A brand new partnership with KO. So what better place to be? The home of motorsport in Australia is KO. So not only, of course, do they have F1, supercars, MotoGP, the E-Road Australian Rally Championship, they are part of that stable as well.
Subaru making its way into shot, and this is Christian Sprenger. So the times we thought when we were looking at the length of the stage, 3Ks, but just kind of bearing in mind the footnotes that the co-drivers and competitors gave us around how technical it is, I think we probably needed to revisit the Greg Russ mathematics on how long it would take, Chris. So the times are a little bit longer than what we perhaps anticipated, but also too, let's keep in mind it is, just as the name suggests, a shakedown. 2-minute 19.3. Here's Jackie.
Hey, Christian, can you tell us what was it like out there?
Yeah, it's a pretty good stage there. We've done a couple laps that this morning, and it's feels a little bit slippery going out again now, but it's definitely shaping up to be a great weekend.
Is it going to help you for the weekend? Obviously, are you starting to think about tyre strategies and how you might attack the Saturday and the Sunday?
Yeah, definitely. It's I think it's going to be pretty hard on tyres here the whole weekend, so you just got to try not to hit too many rocks and stay on the smoothest line, and save our tyres to get through.
And so for the next one, are you going to push a little bit harder, or are you just going to learn some more things about the car?
Yeah, I think we'll just try and learn a bit more about the car. We've got a pretty good setup now, and it's turning in pretty well, and we'll just try and keep it in one piece so we can go into tomorrow.
That's a goal, thanks.
Awesome, thank you.
Has someone taken our competitors to the Chris Stubbs Media School? I'm loving the personality coming through this year. This is awesome, isn't it?
Stubbs Media, yes,
Stubbs.
absolutely. Come and have a play, and we'll polish you up. Make sure your sponsors are getting all the right key messages out there.
See, it's warm today, isn't it? I mean, this is going to be. That's another great thing about running something like this on Friday. It gives us a little window into what we might expect across the weekend, and I think that temperature is going to be a story in addition to the dust.
That was super impressive from Christian. Four-wheel rally in 2025, having had a background in off-road motorcycling, so a newcomer. He's doing the East Coast Cup as well, so perfect place for him to be, and to be around a second off Toby Price is showing that you're doing something right.
You on your toes here today? Is everything going okay from a broadcast standpoint? I don't want to make you worry, but we need to straighten up here because none other than Neil Bates is watching the coverage right over, making sure we're doing an okay job. I think we might be in a bit of trouble here.
Hand over the microphone.
Exactly. It's great to have him with us, and hopefully that car, if you have only just tuned in, of Lewis Bates is okay. It's had a little gremlin earlier this morning. They've been able to give it one pass, but he flagged in the conversation with Jackie when he arrived that it is still maybe not quite 100%. So hopefully they get to give it a second pass here and iron whatever that gremlin is from a I think like a, just not running. It's not on song at the moment. Hopefully they get to sort that out.
Better today than tomorrow, as we said earlier, and that is the whole point of what we're doing here with the Shakedown. We obviously have been chatting with Jackie so far on our coverage, but we need to welcome Jackie Shivey back this year as our reporter, who will be across everything, all the news from Galvanised Insurance, Rally Central, Telstra Service Park at Rally Central this weekend, right in the heart of Gympie. And having that super special stage, there's a real buzz at Rally Central, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to that's the thing about the Gympie Shire and the work that has gone in over the past 6 months I talked about some of the awards that the event has won for the past 2 years in a row. They're not prepared to rest on those laurels. They wanted to change it up, bring rallying even closer to the people. So to everyone from a Shire perspective, and the Shire, the region covers something like 7,000 square kilometres, and everything from the beautiful hinterland right to the stunning coastline. But to welcome us so warmly once again, to celebrate motorsport and to bring it even closer to the locals is, I think, a wonderful thing.
Well, it was one of the highlights of 2025. A little bit of a break between cars at the moment. So let's take a look back at the highlights from 2025. Round one of the E-Road Australian Rally Championship.
What I love about it is we've got some of the best cars that you can get in the world that have been driven at 100% by champion drivers, and it shapes up to be an awesome year. We say it year on year, but I am genuinely loving how good this competition is going to be this year. I did not think he was going to pull that up.
Your face then, Dino. As soon as he landed, you were just like, what?
Lewis Bates, the guy who's making no mistakes so far, and he could be in the prime position when his first rally at Canberra, which would be pretty cool.
Dino, the competition just gets better and better. We've seen that the times and the calibre of drivers that we've got. Congratulations to Lewis Bates. He is now a Toyota Gazoo Rally of Canberra champion.
Second round of the 2025 season.
Super committed.
Mega.
He's got it wrong on the entry.
Beside us here. And the car is sort of nosed into a ditch. Rally 2 Yarra through that final corner. Tidy, fast. Bates has done a good job there.
That's a Bates through and through on that last corner.
Then Hayden Patton on your screen now. Good morning, but he is executing it beautifully.
Hayden Patton goes to the top. He wins the power stage. He wins the heat and the round.
Round 3 of the E-Road Australian Rally Championship here in the Gympie Shire. But Dean, it has been brutal. We're missing a couple, aren't we? Oh, look at the top at the moment. Huge jump from him there and nearly off the road. Peyton Boy has really been clinging.
And it's likely he's going to have an unbelievable overall result. He's going to have a production car on the podium here, third outright.
Amazing.
What a drive. He's done just a magnificent job.
Benchtops Rally Queensland. What a result. Peyton Patton and John Kennard.
It's the fourth round of the E-Road Australian Rally Championship, and we couldn't be more excited.
In the middle of everywhere Gippsland Rally, and we can hear the crowd behind us talking. Hayden Patton and John Kennard, winners.
Coffee World Adelaide Hills Rally. This is round 5 of 6 for the E-Road Australian Rally Championship. Harry Bates, who had a crash on stage 7 earlier today.
He's pretty committed there, very committed and wide. Go to the grass, talk about some lawn mowing.
We've just been loving everything that we've been seeing so far today. Unfortunately, Toby Price yesterday in the Wolf Production Cup had an incident there on stage 3. Number 1 car for this weekend, and the man that's been effectively the number 1 car for the entire year, hasn't he? Hayden Patton. What he has done for this championship, round after round after round, in Canberra to start the season, the incident with the kangaroo. Other than that, he has won every rally since then. That's 4 in a row.
Harry, second pass out there. How was that? What were the learnings?
Keep it smooth, drive fast. I didn't have dust that time because I was first car on the road, so that was a little bit nicer. But yeah, look, pretty happy with how the feeling is today. So we've got a lot of work to do to get ready for tomorrow and Sunday.
So that obviously means that Lewis didn't do this. Can you tell us what's happening with his car? Do you know?
I think he's going to do a run. I think he'll come behind me. Yeah.
All right, we'll wait for him then. Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
So the numbers coming through, Chris, a 2-minute 2.4, and that is up on the last pass for Harry Bates, which was a 2:03.8. So he's had some progress there, benefiting from, as he detailed, the fact that there was no dust with the gap that we enjoyed between the first and second runs here. Shakedown continues, and the good news, we believe, is that Lewis Bates will get a second run of this, which is great.
So the D word, it's a word we're going to hear a lot this weekend, and there is no rain on the forecast, so that situation won't change. Of course, there is the scope that if event organisers decide, they can push out to 3-minute gaps between cars instead of 2. So that's something that will be looked at in the session.
But I mean, that leads us, I think, to the ballot coming up very soon, doesn't it? I mean, if you draw a good position, so that could be, to their advantage. So it says Harry and Coral there, but I think this is Lewis and Anthony McLaughlin. So inbound, let's hope that the little issue has been able to be ironed out. The Bates Motorsport crew are brilliant. We know that. We know how well versed they are with this car, and they've been trying lots of things to get it sorted. Today's the day to get it ironed out before we head into the first day of proper competition tomorrow. Let's go to Jackie.
You were supposed to be the first car out there. Was it a little bit of an issue for you at the start?
No, I think Harry just jumped the gun. I don't know, maybe he forgot that he's second on the road. I don't know.
Are you saying that the sibling rivalry is started already?
I think so, yeah, but it's only Shakedown. It's not a big deal, but yeah, who knows? Maybe he's playing games already.
All right, and talk us through the car. How is it going for you?
It was better in that one, so we'll take it back to service and give it a good check over, but we finally got into a bit of a rhythm and it was better, so definitely an improvement.
That's what we like to hear. Thank you.
Thank you.
And the time was a 2:02.6, and just as he drives off, Neil Bates has joined us here at the host position. It looks like the guys have got it sorted. Well done.
Yeah, I haven't spoken to Lewis yet, but obviously by the time, although his time was very good in the first one, but Harry said it was dusty in the first one. So if you talk about the two brothers and rivalry, Harry's gone and booked in before Lewis then, so he could get a clear run. So yeah, I think they're playing games. But obviously the car was fine for him to do that time, and I assume he would have had dust if he was 2 minutes behind. So I'll go and have a chat to him now. But it's just had a problem with the pop-off valve this morning, so we're trying to rectify that. I'll take the car back to service now and just make sure it's right for tomorrow.
Just quickly, you guys have had an unbelievably busy start to the year, haven't you, across all the different things from 86 to rallying and so on, haven't you?
Yeah, we have been very busy. Obviously, the first GR Cup round was at Sydney Motorsport Park in February, and so as soon as we got back from Christmas, it was absolutely flat out, and getting organised for that, and all the competitors out testing their hearts out, and we've sort of probably slightly quieter now, which is nice in the lead up to this event.
Good on you. We'll let you get back to it. Thank you very much for talking with us today. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Neil.
There you go. Jackson Long arrives right on cue. Let's see if this run for he and Damien is quicker than the first pass. It looks like it's down. We're being told it's a 2:12.4 versus a 2:09.2. But again, we don't need to read too much into that, I reckon, Jackie.
All right, Jackson, talk us through it. How have you attacked this one compared to the first pass?
Yeah, well, I sort of went in wanting to do it a little bit better, but the first corner was really loose and I think the tyres have gone up a bit. So after that, I sort of took it easy, tried to look a little bit spectacular through the last corner because, the run wasn't about time. So, it was good to start the rally like this with a bit of pace to get used to. And honestly, I'm just having so much fun being in this championship and being in this car. So, yeah, I'm happy.
So does that mean that the conditions are changing really quickly out there?
Yeah, I'd say so, and there was quite a lot more dust on that run, so that's definitely something we're going to face in the rally, so we just need to get used to that. But yeah, it's definitely a different pace. The notes are awesome, so that's a good start, so yeah.
Sounds really promising, thank you.
Thank you.
And Glenn McNeil's joined us just as Jackson gets ready to head off. Gee, he's a bright, well-spoken, bright young competitor. Very big future ahead.
Oh, absolutely. He's got great people around him, with likes obviously with Scott. And yeah, he asked all the right questions and he's doing a great job.
Now, the driver's arrived for the ballot. He's not talking to us at the moment. So we'll put the tough one to you. Just quickly, what happened this morning? Shame that you couldn't take part in this.
Yeah, it's more precaution than anything else. I mean, essentially, the steering rack needs to come out. So obviously, the Sunstrike went a little bit off to the left through the timing board and clipped a rock. And so more precaution than anything else is the steering rack needs to come out, be checked. And she's a big job, so...
Great year ahead for this team, a team that's expanded and kicked off superbly in Bathurst before you even got here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a great team, great sort of family kind of environment. So, it's really enjoyable.
Good on you, mate. Thank you for talking to us. We'll leave you to it. There's Glenn McNeil. Next car is inbound, and it is again, as we said before, under the Bates Motorsports stable. This is Troy Dowell. So let's see if the easy up Yaris has had a quicker run on the second pass. We'll have a little look at the times for you. It's a 2:14.4, so that's a gain, Stubbsy, of over 2.5 seconds. Yeah.
All right, how are you happy? Are you happy with your time that you've just done? Do you know what you've just done?
I don't really care about the time today. But I'm happy with the feeling. Hopefully I'll just go a bit, push a bit more harder tomorrow, and have a good day tomorrow. That's the main thing.
And the dust, how is that going now with all of the dust that's then settled? Did it change it out there for you?
It's definitely lingering a bit. There's a few corners where it's okay, then there's a few you can't see anything, and it's sort of like half guessing where you're going. But hopefully it's a bit better tomorrow, or it's going to be pretty tricky.
Awesome work. Well, good luck.
All right, thank you.
So he says he's not caring about the times, but he might be excited when he sees them. That second pass was 2.5 seconds quicker, so a nice effort from Troy.
Some of the competitors are arriving. We remind you to stay with us right through the end of our Shakedown coverage today, and that is because the all-important Ballot, Stubbsy, is coming up too, the Ballot draw.
That's it.
You'll get your best game show face.
Our top 3 seeds, so Harry Lewis and also Scott Petter will be the 3 that we'll have to pick from the Ballot, and that will decide the starting order for tomorrow. Number 1, I think, would be a more favoured position than ever before with this stuff, perhaps.
Absolutely, unless they do, as you say, review things from a dust gap standpoint, yes. and that'll be something. We've got a great team of officials here that are a part of the E-Road Australian Rally Championship together with Motorsport Australia, and they'll make all those right calls to ensure that A, most importantly, it's safe, and B, that we get the best possible competition that we can bring your way.
So Josh Weedman here just rolling into the stop. As we said, a local Queenslander will have all sorts of support. So This year, our Junior Cup competitor, the East Coast Cup, is in the Wolf Cup as well. So a busy, busy boy is Josh, and always great to hear from him. Let's see how he went on his second time past.
All right, Josh, it's good to finally see you. You didn't do a first pass. What's been the issue?
We just we broke a bushing earlier on today. Just hit the creek down at the other test stage a bit too hard, and then had some problems with the CV when we were pulling it out. So just got it all back together now and just make sure the car's all good.
So did you take this one a little bit softer, a little bit slower, just to get the car through and make some learning? So how are you attacking this weekend then?
Yeah, just feeling this one out a bit, just making sure that the car's buttoned up and good to go, and then we'll just see what happens.
Obviously, this is like a home track for you. Does that give you an advantage then?
I wouldn't say an advantage. I wish I got to drive it more often, but it's an awesome track. But I don't know. We'll just keep it pushing, and hopefully we can have a good event, a home event. So
we're hoping for that too. See you soon.
Cheers. Thank you.
With Ryan Preston in the co-driver's seat, 2 minutes 16.9 was the time, and obviously just a chance to ensure that with that issue a little earlier on today that they've got the repair all ironed out. Home turf might be one thing, Stubbsy, but as I think he's kind of alluded to there with Jackie, he knows the quality of the national competition here, and that it doesn't necessarily give you a huge thing to put in your back pocket going into the weekend. A little bit of comfort, shall we say, though.
That's it. The Junior Cup for our under-26 competitors as of January 1. Full drive Cup as well, so that opens up the field somewhat too.
All right, so 226.4 is the number we're being told for the first run. Is that right? Or that's
Dale Lineker,
yeah, yep,
who's coming up. So that's the number that we're looking to see if Dale has been able to get through this one pretty clean, which it appears like he has, and we'll hear from him in a couple of moments' time. Of course, Dean Herridge, as we referred to earlier, just drove past in his car, gave us a big wave. He's a busy, busy man. I'm sure he's missing being alongside us.
30 staff across 7 cars this weekend.
Bigger
Amazing.
fish to fry. But let's hear from Dale. Here's Jackie.
All right, Dale, I know you're out there to have fun, but what have you learnt out there? How is it going to change things for you heading into tomorrow?
Oh, no, we did all right then. We got a bit smoother and a bit faster through the line, so held a bit more. Did all the handbrake stupid things we were meant to do. But we had a bit of fun. Yeah, I think it'll be good to get it out of the way today and get used to some gears again. And, yeah, it's been fun. A bit better than the hire car. Yeah, so, no, we're having a ball. So
Shakedown, you love it. You love the format.
Best thing ever. Yeah, cool to get that out of the way today. Yeah, make tomorrow a lot easier. And on the speed straight away, hopefully. That's the plan.
Sounds good. See you then.
Awesome. Thank you.
And Jackie, just to Dale's point there, the time was over a second faster, so he could feel that. He could feel that it was better, and it's absolutely reflected on the number that we've seen from him here on the second run over Shakedown. So not all that far away before we'll do our ballot draw for you and look ahead to tomorrow's big first day of proper action. Accent Benchtops Rally Queensland, round 1 of the E-Road Australian Rally Championship.
So cool too that we get 2 attempts at that super special stage, the Candles super special stage in the heart of town tomorrow. So one's around lunchtime, another run later in the day as well. There will be fans everywhere, including perhaps on Sunday in town, one Chris Vermeulen, who's a local.
Love
a little bit further south than here, of course, MotoGP race winner. So he's thinking he might come along and bring his daughters for a look on Sunday, which would be
He has had some cool cars in the garage over time too, including one that was owned by a host from Top Gear before he purchased it. So we'll tell you a bit that he loves his cars, and it won't take much arm twisting to get Chris to come and have a little look at some ARC competition. All right, so for Springer, who's arriving here now at the end of our Shakedown run in the Subaru, let's get a sense of if that second pass has been, it's up, we believe, so it's an improvement, Jackie, for him, which is great.
All right, Christian, what did you learn from that pass? You went quicker than the first one. What did you change?
We just pushed a little bit harder through the middle section. We did have a couple of mistakes in that one too, so I thought it was actually going to be a bit slower, but I know sometimes that you go a bit smoother, it ends up being a bit faster, but yeah, just tried to get all our marks and all our lines and come through smoothly.
So what are your big takeaways heading into tomorrow then?
I think we just need to get all our marks, keep onto our notes all weekend, and just really listen to him, because that's where it all comes down to.
Well, good luck. We'll see you tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you. See you then.
Sale of the century, deal or no deal, eat your heart out. We are about to do the big draw. Stubbsy, over to you. We've got 3 special guests with us, don't we?
We do. We have 3 very special guests. Of course, Scott Petter, our number 1 seed. Scott, welcome to you, to Lewis Bates and also to Harry Bates. Now, our 3rd placed seed, which, Lewis, that is you, will do a little shake of our ballot.
Oh, you
number 3. Harry's number 3. Harry, it's your turn to shake up the envelope. Mix them around in the ballot box. So this, as we said, will determine our starting order for tomorrow.
We're surrounded by all of the photographers from the Australian Rally Championship. We need some game show music in the background here. Nicely done, beautifully shuffled.
Who's going first, Rusty?
Well, you come on, let's get it happening here.
Are we starting closest to the camera?
I think so. All right. Oh, he's not happy about going number 1.
Sorry, Scotty.
All right. Hold it. Let's reveal it at the end. How about that? Righto, Lewis, in you go. Does he go top? Oh, he's going for the top one. Okay. That means there's only one left for Harry to grab there. Gentlemen, let's line up for all the cameras.
Before we open it, should we ask at least one of the gentlemen how important is this? Given the dust, let's set the scene for those watching on at home. Is this one of the most important ballots that we've had in recent times?
Maybe not the most important, but it does feel reasonably important. I think car 1's an advantage here. I would prefer car 1, put it that way.
Okay, so car 1 we want. Who's opening first?
All right, let's...
Same order?
Let's go same order.
All right, Scotty, hold it up to the camera.
Beautifully bound envelope. He's drawn number 2.
Ooh.
Number 2. Lewis, over to you. 3. That means... The dream.
He got what he wanted.
Car 1, well
Harry
done.
Bates gets number 1. We'll get a reaction from all 3. Harry, it's what you wanted. What do you make of that?
Yeah, happy with 1. I'm very used to it. Last year we did 10 ballots, I think it was, and I got 8 out of 10 as car 1. So I seem to be getting my strike rate's only going up, not down. But anyway, I'll take it. It's 1 will be good here, so I'm happy with that.
Lewis, a tough day so far, but better today than tomorrow, as we've been saying. What do you make of your starting position in 3?
I'm happy with 3. I just hope the wind picks up in the morning. But if there's wind, then it's a great road position. If there's no wind, then we're in trouble.
Nice to see you smiling here. A little bit of a jumbled day for you, but that's the perfect day for something like this to, I guess, unfold, isn't it?
Yeah, but my fault. So, silly error, which the boys will fix and that sort of stuff. The car's okay, but it's frustrating that you don't get the runs in it. But car 2, I'm up for cancelling the ballot as of yesterday. I think it's a stupid idea, to be honest. I don't know. No, but 2's probably good if the wind does pick up, better than 1, obviously. 3's good if the wind picks up. So it's sort of a bit of a lottery depending on the wind.
Okay. Before you go, can we get a little sense in an overarching perspective? We're about to launch into the championship. We're so excited about it for 2026. This team has stepped up. You're against the factory outfit here. What can we expect this year?
Well, it's not easy. I mean, you're competing against probably one of the best teams in the world. A couple of drivers that go all right too. So, it's an interesting equation for privateer teams, which we are. So we try our best. We've got Jackson in the team now, who's he's a serious talent, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do. And with that sort of only sort of four cars really, I think that can sort of push for the championship. It's about consistency and pace at the same time.
Some stuff. Little snapshot for the year ahead.
Now, the last look at the times, Harry was fastest from our shakedown, so we better get your reaction because that's the headline performance as we head into our first day tomorrow, that you were quickest. What did you make of it?
It was a good little road, not overly representative of what we'll have tomorrow, but having said that, I'm happy with how everything felt today, but it is just a shakedown and, you have to do the work on the actual stages themselves to get ready for tomorrow. So that's what we'll all be doing this afternoon and tonight is trying to gear up and get ready for tomorrow. But happy to have got through Shakedown cleanly and had a good run and done a good time.
Subsy, before we close this out, can we get a comment from you? First time in our coverage, some big news emerging in recent days for you, how you feel about that, how it all came together and so on.
Yeah, I'm off to Rally Portugal a week after this rally, actually, to compete in Europe for the first time for me. Really excited. It's actually Scott here who's always talked me into trying to do Rally Portugal. And obviously Lewis did it a couple of years ago as well. So I've got 2 guys next to me who I can lean on for advice, which is amazing.
No advice, he says.
But definitely, the plan is to use this weekend as much of a warm-up as I can for that as well. We're here because we need good points, and we want to get our ARC campaign underway this weekend. But obviously, looking forward to sort of getting over to Portugal as well and doing my best over there.
Great stuff.
We love it. It shows what our guys are able to do on a world stage. You've done it before in New Zealand, and best of luck with that.
Thank you.
All right, we're just about done here, I think, aren't we, from our coverage standpoint, Stubbsy? That is the ballot draw done. We invite you to join us tomorrow, too, on KO. Something new for the 2026 season. That is Shakedown, an all-new innovation for the E-Road Australian Rally Championship. The season opener gets underway in earnest tomorrow. Hope you'll join us then. Bye for now.